Hey, there we are. Let's try that. Maybe we have sound now. Hating these headphones things. I still feel echoey. Hmm. Check your mic and make sure we can hear you there. Steph infection? Speak up. You're barely moving the meter here. And check if you can hear us. So you can't plug those in. Jack in the nothing. Check 1, 2. No, we're not getting anything out of the program on this one either. What the fuck is going on? Check 1, 2. There you go. No, we're not getting anything out of the program on this one either. Okay, now it looks like it's working.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry. They can hear us.
Yeah. Beowulf Productions, welcome to Deadsville Horror Talk Tuesday Live.
With a lot of kinks.
Yes, a lot of bugs. Kinks. People are going to think you're a perv. It's not that kind of show, Steph infection.
Sorry.
Keep your kinks to yourself. So, how's everybody doing out there? We are here today to talk about A24's Bodies. And where can you watch Bodies right now, Steph infection? Tell us.
Well, on Amazon Prime and Showtime.
Yeah. Yes. So this was one of my top 5 movies of last year. We rented this, I think, right? Did we rent this on Amazon?
I don't remember. I think it was free through Showtime and when it came out. Maybe.
No, we rented it last year and watched it.
Well, the weird thing is that we had to buy it because I just looked that up. I couldn't see that I could rent it, so I don't know. I don't remember.
At any rate, it was a good movie. I liked it. It was an A24 horror movie. You guys are familiar. I know some of our viewers are very familiar with the A24 films, fans of Pearl and X and
Hereditary and The Green Room.
Yes, that gem. A lot of people, I think, don't realize The Green Room was a A24 movie.
I didn't until today.
Yeah, learn something new every day. Mm-hmm. How do we sound out there? YouTube land? Are we echoey? We're wearing headphones and I sound echoey in these headphones. I can't tell. But you guys tell us what the quality is. We're still trying to get this worked out. We got a new soundboard back here, and yeah, just kind of plugged in. Haven't had a whole lot of time because I've been busy AF, as the Gen Zers would say, right?
Oh, it's very fitting for this episode. Yes, there's Gen Z.
Yeah, keep the Gen Z theme going here. Yeah, this is a very Gen Z influenced horror film.
Satire-ish.
Yeah, a lot of satire in there. We'll give our spoiler-free reviews first and talk a little bit about the writer, director, and production values, that kind of stuff. Then we will show the trailer, right? No, we will not do that. We will give the synopsis first. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you're going totally off our little script here. And by the way, Jesse said, Echo on Ronin, Steph is fine. Great. Thanks, Jesse. Zito.
All right, let me see if I can remedy this. Might be in here. Yeah, let's see if I can. How about that one? Come on. No. No. Come on. Jesus Christ, open.
Well.
This one. Is this one going to do it? Let's try that.
Sounds a little different to me.
Well, we're not going to. It's not going to be different to you because we're listening here.
Yeah, I sound echoey to myself.
Right. So Jesse, fill us in now. Let me know if I still sound echoey, or if that improved at all. So yes, we are going. What we're going to do, our schedule for the show. We're going to talk about. Well, we're going to do our spoiler-free reviews. No, I'm all the way backwards. We're going to do the synopsis first, right? I'm going to read the synopsis. We're going to watch the trailer. We're going to do first impressions. We're going to talk about the cast and the writers and director and producer and what else? Oh, then we will go to our poll question for the day. Right?
If we can get that figured out, but yeah.
Yeah, if we can figure out how to put the poll up on the chat.
If not, we'll just start the conversation.
Yeah. And then we'll dig deeper and have our spoilery review. So be careful in the comments not to leave spoilers until we get a little further into the program as we discuss. And yeah, let's dig into bodies. Where are we doing first now?
This piece of paper is not good.
No, it is not. Give us a writer and director.
All right, so that would be it. All right, so Bodies. The director was Helena Rain. Writers Sarah Delap, or Delape, Kristen Rupinian, and let's open this a little bit. All right, so some of our cast that we've seen before are Amandla. Is that how you pronounce it? Amandla Stenberg? Amandla. It's different. I like her, though. Maria Bakalova. Oh, sorry, I mispronounced that.
Bakalova.
And I literally said it 100 times to you before. Rachel Sennott, Sui Wonders, Pete Davidson, Myha'la Herrold, and Lee Pace, among others. But they're our main cast. So what's this about, Ronin?
Give me a second here. I'm trying to kill this stupid echo.
All right, well, I'll just go into that. How about that?
I got it.
All right.
So, no, I don't have it. There it is. There's our synopsis for Bodies. When a group of 20-somethings gets stuck at a remote mansion during a hurricane, a party game gone very, very wrong ends with a dead body on the ground and fake friends at every turn as they try to find the killer among them. Sounds like fun. All right, we're going to get into the trailer here, and hopefully the sound works. We promise to get better at this, guys.
I'm smart! I'm strong! I'm ready for what comes along! I'm got good friends! We'll stay together now! Silence!
Who wants to play Bodies?
Oh my god!
Does anybody have service?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm a hot girl, rich girl.
Guys, I get so stressed out every time we play this. Someone always ends up crying.
So how do you play?
And I come in different flavors.
If you draw the piece of paper that has the X on it,
You are the murderer.
everyone else has to avoid being killed.
What is that? Xanax, do you want one? Yeah.
What is happening?
Our friend is dead. So if you could just, like,
not escalate the situation?
I'm not escalating. You're holding the knife and you're moving your hands while you talk.
That would be so fucking obvious if I were the killer.
David.
More.
You're always gaslighting me.
You fucking trigger me.
You are so toxic. Relax, relax.
You're silencing me.
Is that all you got, motherfucker?
Did you just fucking shoot me?
I can't believe you're making this about you.
What are the features that you're bringing?
Well, I just look like I fuck. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I look like I fuck. And that's the vibe I like to put out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and
There we are. Now we're back. Hey.
That's
the vibe I want to give off too. I fuck. That's my vibe. I fuck. Me and Pete Davidson. Yes. Me and Pete Davidson fuck. That's right.
I know you would feel very kindred with him through that. That's what you wish to give up.
Yeah, that's right.
No comment.
Well.
So yeah,
that was our trailer for Bodies. And how am I sounding now? Jesse, am I still echoey?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, still heavy echo on Ronin.
That was before.
That was how long ago?
Before we came back.
Okay, well, I'm sure it's not any better. I'm sure it's the same. This is a new microphone and a new board, and apologies if it's echoey. I'm frustrated, man. Take over, please, and do something.
All right. So, well, we should get into the first impression. So I will give mine. Overall, I don't think this is really giving anything away, but I was like, oh, these, actually, no, mine, I'm going to save that till later. My first impressions were it was a lot of fun. I was laughing and also like actually covering my eyes at some parts, which we'll get into later. I thought that the entire cast of actors were extremely compatible with each other, which I found out the director, who I thought this was very, very cool. It's a little tidbit, doesn't give anything away. She worked in theater, and she wanted everyone to rehearse their lines to an insane amount where they could just literally record the entire and film the entire movie in long shots, and that she wanted everyone to be compatible. There's a lot of improv in there that people don't even realize. So if you got the feel that these were all friends and in real life, then, you know, that's what she was kind of going for. So I thought it definitely gave off that vibe, and all the actors were great. Pete Davidson was absolutely great. I cannot say that I'm actually a fan of his on like SNL. I think he always plays the same types of characters, but this one, he was great. I think we're going to see him in a lot more stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny as well, and I'm still echoey, and I don't give a shit, so deal with it. Yeah, Pete was great. He was a dick. He was funny. His character was funny, and everything kind of revolves around him being a jackass.
Very, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
This is killing me, though, with the echo. Maybe if I turn it up a little bit. Let's see if that helps. Jess, let me know what that sounds like now.
He said the echo went away now.
Oh, that's amazing. Just out of nowhere, just disappeared. I didn't even do anything. Okay, well, I'll take it. Yeah, Pete Davidson's great. Lee Pace was hilarious. His character, like the freewheeling older hippie that's dating the young girl in the group. I mean, the setup is let's talk about the setup again. We could talk about that without really giving anything away. it's like a weekend getaway with a group of friends who have been lifelong friends since childhood.
Because they're all rich.
They're all rich kids, yeah.
That.
So
so
a bunch of rich Gen Zers, all getting together, and there's a big storm, and there's a couple of, there's a lot of tension between them already, between the Sophie, which one? Sophie. Between Sophie and the group, because Sophie had a problem, obviously, which they...
We'll talk about later, but she
yeah.
went away for a little bit. So.
And this is her return, and she brings a friend with her, and there's a couple strangers in the group, so it adds a little tension
and
into
distrust and not knowing what's going on, who's who.
Yeah. And at first glance, it seems like Scream for Gen Z, but it's really not a slasher. It really was more of a whodunit.
A murder mystery.
Like a murder mystery.
Like
type.
Clue.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
But with Gen Z, millennial, how do you want to put it? Like Mean Girls, but...
the way that
woke Mean Girls. How do we want to go? What do we?
It's
there's just so much. There's so many buzzwords thrown around. So many Gen Z buzzwords that are just used, and it's very. It comes off very realistic because
it's
if you talk to a Gen Zer, it's
there's a lot of good that has come out with come from us talking about our feelings more, but it was kind of. Putting a light on, words like trigger and a lot of,
Well, it was showing you how it's being overdone, how it's too, how
you don't take people seriously because everyone's using it, kind of.
How you take it too far, and you manipulate, and these kids are all using it to, like, people are dying around them, and they're caring more about if they
themselves
look cool,
and if they're getting a lot of likes.
On their phone, and if they look good in the
TikTok
selfies.
dances and not real actual issues. So it's kind of, they're using buzzwords back and forth to each other, and
the Gen Z satire is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, every rich white kid house party I went to. Pretty much. Yeah, modern version of Clue. Yeah, I think Clue for the Gen Zers, I think, is what how we would best describe it.
But as we say, we're making fun of Gen Zers, but it's actually all of us. Like, what generation are you? I'm technically a millennial.
Are you? I'm Gen X, baby.
I am technically, yes, but they call there's a new word like millennial X or something that you're like the later years. If you were born in the 80s.
Millennial X, eh?
Yeah, they separate it because there is such an extreme between kids that were born in the 90s versus the 80s of what they went through. But technically, we're all millennials. So,
Excuse me.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Just drinking some water before the show and coffee.
And we had tacos.
Yes, it's Taco Tuesday. Along with Horror Talk Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday.
I don't think it's from the water or the wooder. But anyway, it's literally about all of us because we all kind of care about that clout. Everyone's on social media, and it doesn't matter what age you are. But
if you're on social media, there's some people that aren't on social media and don't give a shit.
Obviously, there are some.
But it's mocking ourselves, and we're sitting here doing a podcast and looking at our followers and checking our chats and our likes and all that stuff. So it definitely, it's a look in the mirror a little bit for sure with social media and trying to be a TikTok star. That was one of the. Is that a spoiler if we talk about the scene with? Where they're doing the TikTok dance and Lee Pace is so funny because it's like these 20-something-year-old girls all doing this TikTok dance, and there's Lee Pace like an old hippie in the background, like so great.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the cast. Speaking of, Lee Pace was great. I don't want to go too much into it because I have some spoilery stuff for his acting, but he was hilarious, and I thought it was cool the way, like, because I mean, I was gonna say your group of friends has that one girl that'll date the older guy, but then I realized you're that girl.
Oh my God,
that
I was
dates
just
the
gonna
older guy. So,
it's me. Actually, I have all my friends.
Yeah, so if this was you going to a little vacation or whatever, a getaway with your girlfriends, you bring your creepy older boyfriend with you.
Who's the old guy?
Yeah. So I'd have to let my scruff grow in a little more so I could pace it up a bit.
That's all right, because I love Alice. She was my favorite character. So.
She was. Alice was probably my favorite character as well.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from Lee Pace, Alice was my favorite.
Jesse agrees.
One of the mean girls, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And you said she did a lot of the improv stuff. Right?
Yeah. So, like I was saying, the director wanted them all to kind of do long takes and actually have that like compatibility and collaborate with each other. But she had so many like funny one-liners that are even in the trailer that people think were in the cast, like in the actual script, and it wasn't. It was just her shouting out things at different times. And this isn't a spoiler of anything, but there is a scene towards the end where some other character is talking and going on a long monologue, and she just shouts, "I have body dysmorphia." That was nowhere in the script, the original, and it's probably one of the best parts because then there was back and forth between another one. I think they said, "Shut the F up," something like that. But
it's great. It was a perfect throw in there line, totally in character, fit the script.
And in the trailer, her saying, "You're silencing me." Yeah, totally improv, and she's really good.
Yeah, she's really good. I mean, I guess Sophie and B are our two main characters, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to like any of these people. Besides Lee Pace, who just seems like a fun guy, and Alice, who, despite her
bad decision making at one point.
Yeah, but I mean, despite her all her like buzzwording and all that other stuff, she seemed to be like the fun one of the group. B, the character of B by Maria Bakalova of Borat fame. Her character got on my nerves.
It's really funny, because you said that to me, and I said, well, I was reading that Sophie and her were supposed to actually switch parts or try out for each other parts, but they wanted to kind of expand on their characters that they have been in. So, B, who we know, Maria
Bakalova.
Thank you. I'm put on the spot, so I'm messing it up now. She was nominated for an Oscar for her role in Borat, and she probably said the most and did the most insane things on camera.
In Borat, yeah.
In Borat.
Yeah.
So to go from that, she wanted to be more of like a meek, she's kind of quiet and
show a little range, play a different character, play
totally.
something.
And you definitely are
a little more toned down, a little more subdued, obviously. Mm-hmm. I mean, she was good in doing that. The character, though, is just like, she's very like blah. Sophie, I mean, you get the impression Sophie like fucked everybody over at one point on drugs. Mm-hmm. Like she was that friend. So, I mean, I guess, she was okay enough. Amandla Stenberg. I don't know what else I've seen her in.
She's in that, is it Marvel? Or is it coming out? Something. If somebody knows, I think she was just casted for something on Disney or Marvel, like a new show coming out.
I don't know.
But I think she was in maybe Disney stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to look here, but my computer is slow as shit, so we're just gonna skip over it. So yeah, Amandla Stenberg, Rachel Sennott was Alice, our favorite. Sui Wonders played Emma. I didn't recognize many of these actresses. I did recognize Pete Davidson and Lee Pace, and Myha'la Herrold was Jordan. Myha'la. I'm probably butchering that.
Can I jump in real quick? Amandla is going to be in The Acolyte. Isn't that it's yeah. Oh no, Star Wars. Is that what is
Star
it?
Wars?
Star Wars. Yeah,
Star
never mind. It
Wars
wasn't
series?
Marvel. I knew
Okay.
it was Disney,
Okay.
but that's a series coming up.
Gotcha.
But she was in the Hunger Games and everything.
Oh, was she in the girl, the little girl that got killed in the Hunger Games?
Very possible.
The one that was the girl, your girl.
Do you know how many years it has been since I've seen that movie?
Yeah, it's not
I don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Very
Well,
possible. If anyone knows.
so there was our cast. The only other person in the movie was Connor O'Malley as Max, who just they talk about through the movie, but only has like a brief appearance at the end of the movie. The whole thing takes place in a big mansion over the course of one night. So A24 always seems to do very well with these kind of one location shoots, these one location films. They get a small group of good actors and have a story that's centered around one location, and boom. I mean, because that's what the same way X was. X was all about the film crew that goes to the farm to shoot and has to deal with the crazy old people. So yeah, they managed to do a lot with a little, and I guess they're known now for being elevated horror, if you want to call that a thing. I don't know what the hell that means. Horror is horror. I don't know what elevated means. That you're artsy, maybe.
Well, I think the difference is, which we'll get into later. The director said she wanted to make a thriller based off of actual human being emotions and actions. So kind of it ties into maybe our spoilers, but not like your typical just slasher,
Yeah, for sure. All right, we come back to that.
It makes you think.
Jesse says, I hated Emma so much. She got on my nerves.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Emma was
the crying one, right?
Yeah, the most self-absorbed, probably the most self-absorbed of the group.
Thought everyone loved her.
Yeah, everybody was in love with her. I don't know anybody like that.
Hey, everyone loves me, right? Right? Says you. Who I get how many texts? I am a genius.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, so let's see if we can we could talk about the writing. Who was it written by? Who was our writers?
The writers were Sarah DeLapp and Kristen Rupinian. But I think Sarah DeLapp was the actual main writer. Is the impression that I got.
Gotcha. The pacing's really good for being all in one location. It does a good job of not slowing down and not getting boring, not losing your interest. They do a really good job with sound in it too. I noticed, like, that was another thing that they played with sound a lot, like right from the opening of the movie, which is just like a close up on two girls kissing for like an extendedly uncomfortable period of time. But it also makes it like uncomfortable, and because it's of the sound. It's very moist and mushy. Yeah. There's no music. There's no nothing else. It's just the mic, the boom mic is probably right out of frame, right below their lips. So it's like, we're gonna get. Or I'm sorry, the director was like, let's get juicy lesbian kisses here, because that's what Gen Z is about.
Oh, well,
I mean, that's what I felt like when it first started. I was like,
You're
okay,
like, oh no, it's gonna
we're
be
just
forced, but
jumping
it
right
wasn't.
to some lesbian kissing. I mean, the 80s me would be cheering right now, but the current me is like, don't do that. That's not cool. No, that's...
Don't push it. Yeah. But
don't be
I think the whole
man.
point is don't put a never mind. I think the whole thing is that it's a couple that are just kissing, making out, talking, and this is opening scene. This is no spoilers, but then the next scene, both of them are and it's very loud, hearing them texting simultaneously right next to each other, probably to two different people or on social media, whatever. But it was just very, it kind of set the tone for the entire movie.
Yeah, and they do. There's some party scenes where the sound plays a good part in kind of warping and making you feel like you're on some drugs yourself while you're watching it. A little like warped sense of reality that they put in there using the sound. Yeah, they did a really good job, I thought, with that as well.
Well, on a different note with sound, with the actual music that they used, the director, she's a Dutch actress. She is not from the States. This is her first feature film that she's ever done in the States. This is her second total. But she asked the actors, I mean, she was asking them, like I said earlier, for quotes and things that they would say, but she asked them, what song would you actually party to? All of you come up with a song together. She wanted like emotionless soundtrack to the actual story because she wanted you to feel like you didn't know what was coming next. And these are all the songs that the cast picked. All the songs in the movie the cast picked, not the director or who does sound for a movie, like a score. Yeah.
Well, I mean, no. There's a music director that will pick the music for the film. That'll pick the right. You know, their job is to go out and find. Yeah, they did not have that. It sounds like it was all the director. That's the impression I got from reading what she said. So, I thought that was cool. Yes, very cool.
Daddy AF is my new favorite song. By Slater.
Is that, that's who it was?
With 3 Y's, so you got to scream it like you're screaming Slayer. But instead of the horns, what do we do?
I can only put 4 choices in. Oh, that's all we can do on the poll. Well, we gotta add. Which one should we take out?
Just take that one out because I don't know if a lot of people. No. Oh, I meant the one above it. And put the one that we said. Sorry, we're making a poll.
Yeah, we're getting this poll thing going here. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I don't think that's going to be anybody's favorite, though. I think, you know what? Let's make these both like one choice. So, right?
Oh, sure. I didn't see one, so.
Well, that's a part 1 and 2. All right, let's see how this works out. I just posted a poll. So, what's our poll question today, Steph Infection?
Oh,
you're
Ronin.
good with the poll.
Did you just add a s to the end of that?
No.
Oh, echo. So, out of these movies, what's your favorite A24 horror movie? We got Bodies, 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 which we're discussing tonight. X and Pearl are going to be in the same category.
Because they only give us 4 choices. We're only allowed to give you 4 choices. So if X or Pearl.
So if it's one of those, you could just pick that.
For that, yeah.
Green Room, which I didn't know was an A24 movie until today. Or Hereditary, which is a total mine F.
Yeah, I've only watched half of Hereditary and got bored and turned it off, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, you turned it off before the best part!" Oh.
It's not the best part. It's actually, I have nightmares about it still. I can't watch it. And that mom screaming. Oh my God.
Yeah, well.
No. You would not like it. It's too slow for you.
No, it absolutely
It's
was.
too slow for you.
Yes. I will not like it.
No. What would I choose? Everyone think about that. So while we're thinking, what does that say? Oh, dig deeper.
Yeah, so now that we've introduced our poll, let's go to, hey. Can you still hear me? Yeah, we're still good. And look, there's Steph infection. Where is it? I was trying to pick your nose. There we go.
Oh, sorry. What?
All right. Well, now we are going to dig deeper. The spoiler ban is now lifted. So,
If you want to
start talking spoilers in the chat, feel free. Go right ahead and make sure you vote in the poll. So, let's talk spoilers.
All right, so I want to just open up with this because I probably could have included it in our non-spoilers. But when I first watched this in entirety, my first initial thought was, oh my God, this is like Lord of the Flies, but with technology. And then I found, like, even with them getting, jealous over certain things, like in Lord of the Flies, it's like the concrete, like they're all fighting over that because they want control. Anyway, when I saw that and when I started doing this research and started reading some things, I saw that the director said herself what she was going for was a total mesh between the Lord of the Flies and Mean Girls, which I love the Mean Girls.
I totally see Mean Girls in there. I
Yeah.
absolutely see Mean Girls.
And you said that too, because I think we just called them the Mean Girls. Like, oh, which character are Mean Girls? And I was like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, which was your favorite Mean Girl?
Yeah, Alice. She wasn't really mean.
No, Alice was probably the least mean of them all.
Yeah.
Who was the least mean girl in Mean Girls? Which one would Alice be?
Not one of the... Well, I guess I would have to say Katie, because she starts off not mean and then ends up not mean, but...
Is she mean in the middle?
She gets mean, but then she gets a reality check by her.
So that's her story arc.
Yeah.
She lets her popularity go to her head.
It's not even that. They tried to change her, and they tried to make her popular.
Oh, wow.
So then they made her this mean girl, and she was like, holy shit, when did I become this mean girl? I was an athlete. And you've watched Mean Girls with me. You forget. We're going to have to watch it again. Yes.
Yes. Anyway, Lee Pace doing TikToks was awesome. Like Lee Pace right off the bat, when the very first scene when Sophie shows up with B and they're all in the pool, and Lee's like, "Whoa, you're Sophie!" You just know he's giving it away that they've been talking about her behind the whole time. Way to go, Lee! Way to give it away, old man.
And speaking of Lee, when they started playing Bodies, when he was the first to die, he got me.
Oh, yeah,
He got me in the
he totally got
and
me.
I forgot about that until I rewatched it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I totally thought he was dead.
Yeah, that was good, too. Nice little touch.
And he just taps his balls.
It's good.
Yeah.
And then they just all kept taking shots at Sophie. Alice had one after that. She was like, 6 weeks with Sophie. Wow. Because they're like, how long you guys been together? They asked B when they got her alone. She's like, oh, 6 weeks. How long you been dating? 6 weeks with Sophie? Wow.
Yeah.
This chick is a train wreck.
Yeah.
But it was, there was a lot of that with the writing, the suspense building, the tension building. You could tell that they were friends, but they were sick of each other's shit.
And it kind of comes out at one point. They're like, we are just friends because our parents are rich.
Yeah,
You know, and they're just kind of like, except, oh my God, at the end when Alice gets me in it, and what does she say? You're just
Your parents are upper middle class.
You would have thought that she called her poor.
They teach at a university.
They don't, oh my God. Oh.
It's public. Well, no, the girl, the girl she was saying it to, what was the character's name? Where is it? Oh, I'm looking at producers. Jordan. She's saying it to Jordan, and Jordan is she was saying, because you love to tell your rags to riches story. Like, she was poor before, but she's saying, like, you were upper middle class.
Yeah.
I guess so. Jordan must have been telling stories that they were lower class and went from lower class to here, but she's like, your parents teach at a university. You weren't lower class. You were upper middle class, and they made a small jump, and like, it wasn't like you made this huge jump. That's what I think she was more saying to her, and that's why Jordan pointed out, but it's a public university. Like, that makes it worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was half paying attention.
Yeah, that's why it is. It's a public university. Even that makes it. That makes it worse. Obviously, she's definitely comes from poor upbringings and pulled her bootstraps up and made herself a millionaire or heiress, whatever the term would be.
Yeah, and well, I was going to say I read something. I'll probably have to look and pull it up, but we don't have to get into each character. But because the lights go off, the director really tried to like find ways to like light them all, but she wanted to use the lighting to kind of mimic their personality. So if you notice, like, Jordan has the spotlight on her head because she's very in your face and rough, and Alice had the glow sticks all around her body because she's just fun. And like, B had the phone, but she had it on her hip because, I don't know, in case she was gonna help somebody, and she's more nurturing. They all kind of had, I forget all of them, but it was kind of cool to like see that. I'll have to go back and see which is which.
Yeah, they stole that film in the dark stuff from Death House when we did Death House.
We stole it.
We did it in the dark with flashlights. They were like, "Hey, I just want flashlights and dark and convicts and killers and prison guards getting murdered."
Just gonna say, I do not think that they took everything from Death House.
They totally stole it from us on Death House. I'm telling Harrison Smith, calling him tomorrow and be like, "Harrison, have you seen Bloodies? These motherfuckers stole your idea, son."
Gonna wage against that. I mean, you're in it, and I haven't even seen the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not in it. I worked on it.
You know,
Cody's in it.
I watched Cody's scene. Yeah.
Anyway, running around the dark thing. I mean, it always adds lighting. Have darkness and like flashlights or mood lighting. It always adds to the tension in a movie, or the suspense, or the mood. Who was in the lead?
Green Room with 60%.
Wow, look at that. 60% for Green Room.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
a great movie. The great late Anton Yelchin. Late great Anton Yelchin. Star Trek and Fright Night remake. But yeah, Green Room was an excellent movie.
Yeah.
So what else do we have from this one?
Well, I did want to say this earlier. Because I found out a lot of trivia, but I found out this wasn't like trivia out there, like listed as trivia. There was a lot of stuff that I was just discovering that I thought was really neat. Like even the improv stuff and everything. And there's so many Easter eggs too from this director and her life, and kind of like why she made certain decisions. For them, I forget the play, but they make fun of Emma for her bad acting in some play that's like a Norwegian play that's not even in the States, but that was the first thing that the director acted in. And then that was kind of, Emma says at one random point that her favorite film is Dr. Zhivago, which is Zhivago, which is whatever. Shut your mouth. Now it's hot in here. Do you know what it's about?
Dr. Zhivago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a classic. Like, go ahead.
Well, it's about communism and people, the idea that people, like, they lose their ability to form their own viewpoints, which is kind of exactly what this movie was about. So, I don't know. There's a lot more, but just kind of keep your ears and eyes open when you're watching it. Yeah. And the original screenplay had an actual killer written in it. And
very interesting.
Yeah, they had somebody. Do you know who it was?
Well, I do because you told me before the show.
Well, might have been our favorite character. It was Alice. But it was written. The actual actress made that character totally different from all that improv, which I discovered later. But they did have kind of like a murder and actually happening, and it was one of the mean girls that was going to come out later in some weird way. But when they started putting the storyboards together, the director was like, no, there has to be no killer, because that's why she calls it elevated horror, because she wanted to look at once they knew that there was no killer, she did not want to do a typical slasher. When she read the screenplay, she wanted to take the killer out completely. Then they just they knew from there where they were going, and kind of looking at behaviors and what do you do when you don't have Wi-Fi? Obviously, you kill each other. So,
obviously. Yeah, I thought it was funny too when they were making fun of Alice's podcast.
As we were setting up,
as we're setting up, we
had it on in the background.
Yeah, we had it on in the background while we were setting up to do the show tonight, just to as a refresher. And it takes a really long time to cultivate an audience.
I heard you cackling. So funny.
Yes, yeah.
Perfect timing.
Yes, very. So what were some of your favorite scenes? I mean, I thought the scene where they confront Lee Pace was rough, man, because I'm just like, oh shit.
This guy did not see that coming.
Nope.
At all.
No clue.
He thought they were messing with him.
Yep.
He was doing yoga.
He's like the nicest guy, and I felt bad too, because again, Alice, it was her boyfriend, and
they kept calling him a vet. They thought he was an army vet, but he was a veterinarian.
Yeah,
the nicest guy.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, a murder did take place, but B was the murderer, and this is what we talked about too. I mean, did the two of them go to jail at the end after? Like, what happens? Yeah.
I don't know, because that one friend walks up. And it's
Max walks up, everybody's dead.
They could have just lied and said that somebody was. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, if that were me, I think I would have to say, like look at her and be like, oh, we got to make up a story. We got to make up a story. There was a killer here.
Well, they have video of Pete Davidson killing himself, so
yeah,
that's not plausible for him, at least.
No. Well, no, and B, I'm sure they would test everything, and it's just so crazy because it's believable. Like when crazy things, like when I watch movies and it's so far-fetched, but you're like, wow, I could see how every single step of this actually happened.
Well, yeah, miscommunication and paranoia and tension and a storm. And
yeah.
It's funny. The first time we watched this, I kind of caught on to what was happening, and yeah, if we haven't given it away yet, the no killer thing. We did. You already talked about it. There was another movie that I'd watched. And it was like an independent movie, and I threw it on a whim, and I forget what it's called. I'm going to have to Google it, or maybe somebody out there knows what it's called. it was about a work retreat. This group of coworkers goes on a work retreat, and they go to this cabin in the woods, and there's a serial killer who's stalking them, and his intention is to kill them. He's a psycho. He's ready. He's going to kill them. But these coworkers hate each other so much that as the serial killer's getting ready, like they start killing each other. One by one, they start
while we were watching this movie.
Yeah. So they start picking each other off one by one, and the serial killer just and he keeps getting frustrated that they're taking each other out, and then it build up, and it was funny because that's kind of what made me realize.
Brought it up when Jordan had the gun. It was like towards the end, but you were like thinking about it throughout the movie, and you finally said it out loud. What if they just keep killing each other, and there is a killer, but he's not getting? And I was like, really? No way.
Yeah, that was the.
You did. You called it kind of.
That's kind of what made me realize what was happening before we got to the final reveal there. But yeah, because a similar movie. But yeah, I thought that was a great twist. Even though I saw it coming, the way it played out, the way everybody hated each other, and you could totally see them wanting to kill each other.
I mean. Think about how you would react. Like you see your friend walk up, throat sliced, it's storming, there's no way to get anywhere, you don't have a car. First off, wait, why didn't anyone have a car? I knew with the battery died in the one, but none of these rich kids had cars?
Yeah, that I don't know.
That I just thought of right now. Like, why
and Pete Davidson has a mansion, and there's not another car anywhere in the mansion, like... I would assume it's his parents' mansion, and they have multiple cars. Like,
did they all just Uber there, like for a hurricane party? No.
I'm gonna Uber to the hurricane party.
So that's kind of a little hole that if anyone heard anything that I missed, maybe say it. But I think that yeah, like what would you? I would initially. I don't know. Wouldn't you go to like, oh my God, somebody slit his throat?
Yeah.
Like even working in healthcare, I would be like, I mean, I'd run and like, try and help him, but I never thought that would be self-inflicted. So I could see how it spirals.
Yeah, Jesse said they carpooled with Max, and Max left after they got into a fight. Remember when they got into that fight? So
every single one of them, how big is Max's car?
Got a big car. Drives a Suburban.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I do remember that now, but still. Yeah.
So, what else? What were some other good scenes? That scene with him and her. And,
well, I think it's still funny at the end. Like, this whole movie, is I don't know, showing that technology and knowing things are more important. Like Jordan at her death was like, check the text messages. Like, that's your last thing you're saying? Like, check her text messages? And they're fighting for a gun, Bea and Sophie at the end. And instead of going for the gun, they both go for the phone. Like, and throw the phone. Like, you don't care if one of you are the killer. You don't want your partner to know that you're cheating, and you want to know if she was cheating. You've only known each other for 6 weeks. Like, I'm sorry, I'm out. Known you 5 years, I'm out. You ain't killing me.
Me neither. So. Well.
Yeah. Jesse said it had a happy ending. They got Wi-Fi back. Which, again, the last line, she says, I got service.
I got service, yeah.
Or reception.
I got reception.
Jeez.
Yep. It's all about the likes. Speaking of, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't yet.
Hit that notifications button.
Yeah. Leave some comments. Tell us who your favorite Bodies girl was.
Yeah. And why is it Alice?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Where's our poll at now? Where are we at with the poll? I have green room. It looks like at 60%. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Green room
Since
at
I
60.
voted, it hasn't changed. I think that's all that's in here. We got 5 votes.
All right. All right. 5 people watching.
Bobby says, I don't know. I like Dallas. If I had to choose a second, man, can Pete Davidson be or Lee? I
You
hate
gotta
these
go
girls.
with the
I gotta
girls.
do
I
girls.
know. I know. It's got to be a girl.
Yeah.
It's
Then
tough.
I probably. Oh God, Emma was so annoying.
I know. The other 4
hated
girls, I
Jordan.
can't stand any.
I probably would go B because she was kind of just quiet,
Man,
and the rest of them, like she wasn't.
killed Lee Pace. I can't go with B.
I know, but like overall, I'm going over personality. I don't know.
I might have to hang out with Sophie, I guess. That would probably...
But it kind of showed that she was not, like, B came in. She didn't know anyone. She literally was scared shitless. Like, what do you do when you think that big man's going after your girlfriend or go towards someone? And I think she just reacted. So, obviously, we were all very sad to see him die. But it was kind of understandable. Like, in that insane fear of thinking that somebody else is, there's a killer. What do you do? Yeah. She kind of seemed the most level-headed in a weird way.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and I guess being the odd man out, if you will, not knowing everybody there, not being friends, not having the benefit of anybody there she could trust besides her girlfriend, who wound up turning on her, by the way, and letting him kick her the fuck out. How about that scene? How was that? Like, remember that? When,
Man, yeah, like out in the hurricane.
Yeah, how about that? And then they were still trying to reconcile at the end. I would have been.
It's like Lord of the Flies again. It's like we're just, we're gonna attack everyone and not trust anyone. Yeah. I mean, how long were those kids on that damn island? Like a day, a week? It wasn't that long.
They were there for 3 hours and they ate Piggy.
I mean, no, fucking Piggy. And I loved Piggy. I never saw that movie. I read the book a couple times.
I think I saw the movie. I'm pretty sure I saw it. All right. Any final thoughts? Let's wrap this up. Let's check in on our text lines. And second favorite would have to be B. She brought zucchini bread. True,
oh,
Jesse.
yes, I love
She did bring the
zucchini
bread.
It's a bread. It's a zucchini.
It is.
She's Italian when I do her. Apparently. Not Bulgarian. Isn't she Bulgarian?
I forget where she was from.
I think
was it
so.
Russia or something? Was it Russia?
Pretty sure I heard. But I don't know. All right, so final thoughts. I think that it was a lot of fun. I think it was a, satire look on how every single one of us act, and it left a believable kind of murder mystery.
Every single one of us, to an extent.
To an extent, but you know what I mean.
To an extent.
It's an exaggerated.
If we were fighting over a gun and a phone, I'd go for the gun. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm not that much of an idiot. I felt like there were a lot of dumb choices made in this movie, but they seem believable because the characters are millennials, are
Gen Z. Come
Gen
on,
Z,
stop saying
whatever
millennials,
they are.
man.
Okay, it's believable that these characters would be that fucking dumb to do some of these things, like you watch a horror movie and bad horror movie choices are made and you're just like, oh, who the fuck would do that? Who would do it? These kids would make those bad horror choices.
Right, don't come after all the Gen Z.
Absolutely. No, but these particular ones, these types. You've got the narcissist in Emma. You got the dumpster fire victim. You got even our favorite Alice is like can't focus. She's like super ADD and obviously uses all these self what's the word?
Buzzword? Self. I don't know.
Self-prescribed, self-diagnosed. Sorry.
Oh.
Medical expert here.
Didn't know where you were
Self-diagnosed.
Medical
Use all
expert.
these. They use all these self-diagnoses to add more psychoses to themselves. It's they were all terrible people.
Yeah. Okay, before we even go, let's
and
just
they all
talk
made
about
bad choices, and they all were just. They let, like you were saying, the need for social and phone and connection to this digital world and popularity contest override their common sense at every single turn.
Yeah. I mean, it all started with Pete Davidson wanting to look cool like the other dude with the sword. This is why he died. He wanted to just look cool, and he was so focused. Well, he's not hot. I think I'm hotter.
That was like a whole conversation where I'm like, he's like, well, I guess he's kind of hot, but I'm hotter. That was the whole I fuck conversation that he had.
Yes, your favorite conversation. But like the most unbelievable moments for me were the three girls continuing to like fight for that gun. I was like, okay, I guess some dumbasses would do this. But then when the one gets shot and killed, Alice, our favorite, Jordan runs up the steps and Sophie's going after her like this. Like, she just shot Alice purposefully once, by accident a second time. Why are you chasing her? Run the other way. Like, just go in some other part of the mansion. Why are you running up the steps? So angry at that part.
Yeah, and at that point, why don't you just shoot her too? I mean, I would have been stop telling her to stop. Shoot her in the leg. You obviously are good at shooting people in the leg. You already shot and killed one person. You shot her in the leg once, and now she's dead. I mean, I don't know. If I was already shooting people, I probably would have shot her. She was following me up the steps, and I was really like, leave me the hell alone. I'd be like, all right, I warned you. Bang!
I think
you get one too.
She was having a moment.
But she had a crush on her still too. That was a whole like subplot too, with all these like crushes and not forbidden but unrequited lesbian love and like they're all flirting with each other. She loves Jordan was definitely into Sophie, but then was also flirting with B while they were partying shit to try and like. So yeah, this was just
try and
like
come between them, and then Emma even tried to make out with one of them at one point.
Yeah. People are dying. And
I think they all had a
Sophie.
love-hate with Sophie. Sophie was just like, she was the one they wanted to be with.
And Sophie had dated Pete Davidson too. Like she had mentioned that, right? She had
back before she knew
yeah. So Sophie had fucked around with Pete Davidson, had some kind of thing with Jordan. Some kind of something.
We heard, we didn't see the text, but that they had sex right before.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That they messed around, and that was a part of the thing. And then kissed Emma. So as much as everybody hated Sophie, they certainly
loved her.
Yeah, they were down with that pussy.
Oh, it was a love-hate relationship. We always got to take it to the next level.
All right.
Chaos. They love chaos and drama. So.
Oh, yeah. I know women like that. Love some drama. Some drama. All right. Well, you've listened to me echo long enough, probably. It's around an hour. I think we covered everything, mostly. Yeah. We miss anything? You guys out there, anything you wanted to throw in the mix? Yeah,
thanks for joining us, whoever's here.
Yeah. Any suggestions for next week? We're going to go see...
Yeah.
What? It's the following week that we're going to do Evil Dead Rise, right?
Yeah, but it comes out this week. This Thursday.
Comes out this coming Thursday.
Yeah. So we can't do it by Tuesday. But...
We'll see.
Okay.
It'll be within the next 2 weeks we'll do Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah, give everyone a chance to go out and see it.
Yep.
Because we don't want to do it too quickly. So maybe we'll do something like older next week. We could touch base if you... I got a lot... Maybe. Whatever Ronin wants to do.
Well, I still kind of want to do that new Slumber Party Massacre.
Oh, yeah. Maybe do that.
Oh, yeah, Renfield and Pope's Exorcist comes out this Friday as well.
Yes.
Everything's coming out this Friday.
I know.
Evil
Dead's next week. Okay. I knew Renfield and Pope's Exorcist. Those were the texts that I said.
Well, Renfield is at the top of my list, and I might just...
Well...
I'm going to probably see that more than once, because...
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Love me some Nick Cage.
I know. We won't do it right, next week. We'll give people time.
Yeah, we won't do the show, but I might see it a couple times before we do the show, just to, have a well-informed opinion.
Does it stream on anything? That you can buy it?
I don't know. I'll see it in the theater, though. I haven't been to the theater in a little bit. I'll go check out Renfield in the theater, see how it is. Evil Dead, got to see that one in the theater as well.
Yes.
Pope's Exorcist, maybe I wait for streaming for that one.
We'll see.
Yes. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for next week, leave them in the comments. We will trim this live episode a bit and then upload it so you can listen to it or stream it again. Share it with friends. Listen to it while you're driving. Got to figure out how to get it podcast ready. I'm gonna get to go back and listen to this audio. It's probably terrible with all my echoing. I have a new mic here, and along with the new board, and we got Steph's new mic, and we literally put it all together about an hour before the show started because we've been busy as hell. We could do Evil Dead 2013 to prep for Evil Dead Rise. That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, Jesse.
We could also do Dracula Dead and Loving It to prep for Renfield.
Okay.
I mean, Leslie Nielsen was like one of my... He's like when he passed, that was like my grandfather died. That was so horrible.
I can't remember if I've seen that all the way through.
Oh my God.
I know.
Oh,
I can remember certain
have
parts.
To do it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Dracula Dead and Loving It. Oh, I haven't echoed since the start. Does it actually sound like decent audio, Jesse? Has it, or is Steph clearer and I am a little fuzzier, maybe?
Am I clearer?
I'm glad there's no echo. Yes, Dracula Dead and Loving It. Yeah, I think that'll be our on our list for this week. We can throw them in and watch both. The Evil Dead remake and Dracula Dead and Loving It. And then we can come back and do like a...
You said both are good.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll have to...
Awesome. Good. I sound okay out there. Awesome. Then this might actually make it as a podcast to a streaming service. We'll see. You never know. We got to figure out, we have the ability to add all kinds of sound effects and stuff here now, this soundboard. Snippets and drops and stuff like that. It's got auto-tune too, so you can sing, Steph Infection.
Oh.
We can
I think my mic
you.
has it too.
Oh, see? You can double auto-tune you.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you just mentioned that because Tyler from Dead End Lane, I was just talking to him about some shows, and I said, if we ever make me sing in our sitcom, someone is going to have to dub over me.
Is that what Arin, I guess, would be?
I did not say that, but I was thinking that.
Yeah. All right, well, let's wrap this one up and give our final thoughts. And would you recommend Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
Absolutely. 100%. So much fun. Different twist on a horror. Brings, today's world into it, and I loved it. Yeah, thought it was really good.
I would also recommend Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I agree. It's like a modern, like a Gen Z horror. I mean, you really got like it's a dark comedy. It's a dark satire. It's got great performances, awesome cast, good pacing, solid writing. By the time you see the twist, if you see the twist coming, by the time you see it coming, the movie's almost over, and it was a great ride. So, absolutely recommend this one.
Mm-hmm.
The only downside is that Pete Davidson dies first, and we don't get enough of him. That would probably be my only complaint.
I know. I thought we needed a little more with him.
A little more Pete Davidson. He was a funny dick.
Yeah, I think we'll see him.
Also, I think they, what's crazy too, and I read this, they
makeup.
Yeah, made up all his tattoos because he didn't want to be covered in tattoos.
Well, they said because he's a rich
image,
kid,
right? It didn't fit his.
If he's a corporate person, he can have tattoos on his legs because she never really wears shorts. But then you notice it's only that one scene, and then he's in the robe for the rest of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's in the pool too and has no tattoos on.
It's,
so they do a good job with
makeup,
with the makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us on Deadsville Horror Talk Tuesday Live.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, guys. And we will see you again next week. Stay spooky.
Bye, Scream Hearts.